Welcome back to Counterintelligence Training Center here in Tempe, Arizona. Guys, today we're going to do something a little bit more fun. It's a little bit more fun of a color combination of one of our most asked for techniques that we do, which is our hand marble. We're going to do this in a black and very, very bright colors that are going to go with it. You're going to see they almost glow in this black. So we're just going to get right to it. Just like we always do with the hand marble, when we start pouring out our colors, we just want to be completely random with how we get these colors everywhere. You want a little bit of every color everywhere with a few heavy spots in between. That is ideal. All right. So once I get down to where it's just kind of dripping out of the cup, I'm just going to spread out a little bit more. Now this is our liquid black, and you usually hear me talk about don't go crazy with the liquid black because it's going to make your piece really, really dark. Well, that's okay for this one because that's what we're going for. Okay, so now we've got our purple Royale, and we've added some of our stakeout to it, which is a very, what used to be called sparkle, but we renamed it to stakeout. So it's very, very glittery, very, very shiny. And we're going to pour out some large spots of this color. And then we're going to do some small ones too. But we want to get some big spots, some big heavy stuff. All right, and then we're just going to get a little bit of this everywhere. All right, just keep dripping, baby. I just want a little bit of this color everywhere, just for some little accents. Probably won't pick it up much on camera, but it'll look a lot better in person. All right, so this is our Oceans. Well, this is our Oceans blue, and it also has the stakeout added to it to make it very glittery. I am going to pour some of this blue inside of the Royale, and then some of the blue I'm going to pour out in some other place. I'm not pouring as much blue inside the purple as I did the purple, but I do want to make sure that I get some of this blue stacked with this purple. And then I'm going to do like another pretty heavy area in a couple of spots. They don't have, those heavy areas don't have to be huge. I just want to get just some spots that are going to show me some pretty cool character. So this next color we got coming up is actually a brand new color that we're adding to our pigment line. And we don't really have a name for it yet. We might even be willing to listen to some suggestions that you may have in the comment section. So if you like this color, let us know and give us some suggestions on what you think we should name this color. This is a liquid blue, but unlike our other liquid blue that we have, it's deep and it's dark, but it's kind of translucent, but it's not a dye. It's still a liquid. So it's just got some different characteristics than anything else that we have. And I think you guys are really going to enjoy what you see out of it today. So again, I'm stacking this with these other two colors that we poured heavy spots of. And then I'm going to pour some of it everywhere, just like everything else. All right. Now, looking for areas that might need a little bit more epoxy. Coming down here. Just help us lubricate everything really nicely. Okay, it probably looks almost black on camera, but it's actually a very cool, it almost looks purple when we pour it out, but when you see us start mixing this in, when it hits these other colors, you're gonna see it as a very kind of cool blue. All right, so just like always, with our hand marble technique, all we got to do now, we got all of our colors out here, is start spreading this. We got to be very random with how we do this. You have a couple of options on what you do with these big colorful spots that we created. You can go around those at the beginning and then hit those late, or you can hit them all at the same time, just like we can do with our normal hand marbles. You've seen some videos where I went around some of the accent spots and then hit them late to make them a little more defined. And then I've had other videos where I've even done the same color combinations and just spread it over the entire piece, just like I would if it wasn't there. So you can do it either way that you want to. I think what I might do for this particular piece is kind of save this one big spot we have here, just so you can kind of see there's going to be a slight difference in what the rest of these look like versus this one. And it's just for educational purposes. And I'm not saying you can't do it that way if you're doing a project for somebody, but I don't know if you would want it to be completely different on one than the other. So we're just going to dig in. We're going to start spreading these colors out. With the hand marble, like we always say, it's just important to be completely random with the motion of your hand while still trying to maintain a directional flow of this piece. Now, as I go, I always want to make sure that I lubricate these faces. The earlier I get these faces lubricated and taken care of, the better my edges and faces are always going to look. Okay. We're going to take some of that dark that I just pulled out of there, hit some of these other areas. Just trying to be as random as I can be. Get some of that black, put it there in the middle. Okay. Now this has much more metallic pigment in it than what I normally advise people to do on these countertop pieces. To get this color to pop this way, you kind of have to put this much pigment, this much metallics in there. You are going to get a little bit more distortion in your artwork though as this sets, the more metallics that you put in there. So it's just something to keep in mind. You can play around with your ratios with this technique, with these colors, and just see what works best as far as the amount of pop you get with the colors versus the amount of travel and distortion that you get in your artwork. Okay, so we kind of went through or went around this big area here. So now we're going to hit it last. I'm using more of my fingertips, trying to keep it a little bit more defined than everything else. Does look pretty cool. All right, this spot looks pretty cool too. I don't really love how this looks real dark and then it gets real light. So I'm just going to lightly kind of try to see if I can soften that line between those two areas just a little bit. Kind of the same thing up here. Just really want this thing to look as natural as I can possibly get it to look. How's my faces looking over there, Josh?
So good.
Okay, sweet. Okay, so we are just about ready to hit this with some isopropyl alcohol. And we're going to see this thing come to life. All right. So you always want to test spray with your sprayer. Make sure that you got the appropriate size drops that you want coming out of the sprayer. And we're going to give this thing a nice bath, a nice lather of some random size drops. We want to barely hit our trigger. So we get some large drops and some small drops coming out. That's going to give us our most organic look that we can possibly get. to have a variance in the size of the drops that are coming out. Just like that. Okay. So you typically hear me talk about, we don't do a lot of ocean scene videos, we don't do a lot of galaxy, we don't do a lot of these different things because our company is designed for the dealer in mind. We are trying to train people and show people how to make countertops that the masses want. Okay, but every once in a while we gotta have a little bit of fun, and that's what this project was about. Was just about getting some beautiful, cool colors. We kind of wanted to play around with our new blue, and we were just kind of tinkering around in the pour room over there doing some samples. Put these colors together, and it just really popped really hard. So we wanted to come out here and just have a nice little fun video for you guys, just so you could see that just because I'm telling you that you want to stick with the type of color combinations and stuff, that's the volume, because that's where your money's at. If you're a dealer, you want to stick, if 99% of your customers want things that look like natural stone, that's what you want to stick with. But every once in a while, you just got to have a little bit of fun. So that's what we're doing today. So now I'm going to give this thing a quick torch and get these bubbles out of here, and then allow the cameras to just kind of pan over this and let you all see all the detail in these colors. This would look really cool in, say, a bar area or in a house if you had an aquarium in that room or something like that. Like this, there's a lot of spaces that this would be pretty cool in. Don't think anybody's gonna put this in the kitchen, but there are definitely some settings that you could make some money with this color combination. And it's really cool. If nothing else, you can do a sample hanging on your wall at the home show, and it will get people's attention, and they'll walk in and just talk about the colors and stuff and how pretty it is. So even though you may not sell it on a countertop, doesn't mean it's not worth doing. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna shut up now and let the cameras just kind of do all the talking. From here on out, we're gonna start putting our attention on the faces, which our faces are flowing nicely, just like always with our countertop formula. As long as you get those faces lubricated early in the process, you typically don't have to do much to them, as long as you have done your prep work properly and you don't have anything that's gonna cause points of tension on those faces. But we're gonna keep an eye on it and let the cameras do their thing. So we'll be back in a few minutes. Okay guys, so now the isopropyl's had time to do its thing. So now the finished shots that you're seeing now is pretty much what this thing's gonna be when it's completely done. Our faces are looking good, everything's good. Please engage us in the comment section. Let us know, what kind of color combination would you like to see next? Would you like to see this color combination in one of our other techniques? We've got 5 to pick from that we'd like to stay in our lane with our 5 techniques, but I'd be happy to show you guys any kind of color combinations that you want in any of our 5 techniques. So take a look through our video gallery. Let me know if you have any ideas, anything cool that you'd like to see. And as always, we'll see you on the next one.